Hi, today is September 16th, 2023, and you are listening to the Arbitrage Weekend News. I'm Darren Harper, and today I'll be bringing you 3 things to know for the weekend, 3 interviews including dog data, Swift Theater, tone deaf CEOs, and more. First, 3 things for the weekend. The Planet Fitness CEO is out of his world. Chris Rondo is out after serving for 30 years. The board felt it was time for new leadership. Planet Fitness stock dropped a whopping 16% on the news, hitting a 52-week low Friday. Interim CEO is Craig Benson, who is a franchisee of the company as well as Dunkin' Donuts. Benson previously served as New Hampshire governor. All workout and no play? Going hard every day to stay fit? Perhaps you need to take it down, Spunky. You may be increasing your chances of an injury. Taking time off from the gym can be hard once you establish a routine mentally and physically. It is possible to train every day if you manage your intensity levels, but that isn't so easy to do. Your body needs to decompress just like your mind does. You need to ease the throttle back and recover. So how many days of rest are needed? Everyone should take at least 1 day a week, but possibly more depending on the level of your workouts. A desirable routine would be to alternate between high intensity and lower intensity days. Still have that urge to pump yourself up on rest days? You don't have to just sit on your butt. It is perfectly okay to go for a low impact walk. Just get yourself out and breathe the fresh air while your body recovers. What to look for in next week's Fed policy meeting. For a while, the Fed has stood their ground on a higher for longer benchmark interest rate to fight inflation. The range right now is 5.25 to 5.5%. Back in June, the Fed projected a 100 basis point cut next year. Some analysts now predict 3 25s. A signal of fewer cuts would be hawkish in nature, and it will be interesting to see how investors respond.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit managerbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hi, Ari. Welcome back.
Hello, Royce.
Did you hear I got a brand new Pomeranian puppy for my kids?
No, I had actually forgotten that was happening. Did you know some of the most popular dog breeds in the U.S. are also some of the most surrendered?
What? Why?
Yeah. So let's start with the popular ones. According to the AKC, and I mean, they have a list for 2022. I haven't checked to see if there's one for 2023. Do you know anything about AKC, the American Kennel Club?
Yes, actually, my Pomeranian came from there. Had papers. I think his mom was from there, and his dad was from the other people.
Oh, perfect. So the certifications are important because it keeps people from overbreeding the same dogs and inbreeding, because you have to be within a certain separation to be able to have your dog be AKC certified and have the litter be AKC certified. So fun fact, but according to them, the top 5 are French Bulldogs at number 1, Labrador Retrievers, Golden Retrievers, German Shepherd Dogs, and I don't have the list in front of me and I forgot the last one.
Toy poodles, party poodles.
It wasn't clear if that was standard poodles or toy poodles, but I imagine it's standard poodles just because they're incredibly loyal dogs despite being huge.
Yeah, they're extremely playful. I also recently learned that there's something called a party poodle. It's like when a black poodle and a white poodle get together. Basically, if it's black and white like a Dalmatian, it's called a party poodle.
I was not aware that this was a thing. But speaking of black dogs, you heard me say the Labrador Retriever is on the list of most popular. It's also on the list of most adopted. So Beach Chewy did, I wouldn't necessarily call it a study, but a data analysis where they took information from Pet Finder. So all of the Pet Finder listings and Black Labs specifically were on there a lot.
Okay. Why?
There's something about black animals. It's not just dogs, it's cats, it's rabbits, it's everything. People just don't
I love
adopt.
the rabbit.
Pardon?
We have a couple rabbits in our yard, and one of them is black. And he blends in so well. You can't see him at all at night until you see eyes.
Camouflage. But yeah, and some of it has to do with animal sacrifices. Like, I don't know if you know this, but
Oh, wow.
a lot of places will not adopt out black animals, especially black cats, during the month of October because of ritualistic sacrifices.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, a lot of stuff in America has been pagan, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But yikes, that turned dark quickly.
Yeah, it's actually funny because Halloween isn't necessarily like based in paganism, but we'll talk about that in October during my spooky, scary skeleton segments.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's go.
They're all month educational and usually part of Science Monday, so that'll be fun.
For sure. I recently just saw Hocus Pocus 2 because I couldn't help myself.
You couldn't help yourself, or the kids bribed you?
Hey, I plead the fifth. Chocolate may be a good bribe.
Chocolate and taking care of your puppy?
But not together, because that's a no-no. Chocolate and dogs, that's a big no-no.
Oh, it sure is. And it's actually super inhumane too, because it shuts their kidneys down. But anyway, German Shepherds and Labs are some of the most commonly seen in shelters and up for adoption.
Well, we're out of time, Ari. Thank you so much for joining us. And I definitely want to follow up later on this to see if we can see why. Maybe do an in-depth analysis or something.
Oh, yeah, we could.
For sure. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you guys want to know more about it, please go to our blog at www.arbitragetrade.com/blog to learn more.
No matter who we are or where we come from, we all experience difficulties in life.
Military veterans know that sometimes it takes strength and determination to make it through.
Whether it's obvious physical challenges or struggles on the inside, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it.
I knew that I had to get support, not just for me, but for the sake of my wife and kids.
Talking about it has helped me feel more like myself again.
Honestly, it was hard to open up at first, but it's changed my life for the better.
Learn how veterans like us have reached out for help. And hear stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
We all make promises, big and small.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I do solemnly swear
to help you when you're in need,
to be considerate and caring, to be your loving, faithful friend,
partner,
child,
parent,
neighbor.
One of our most important commitments is to support our nation's veterans. Learn how you can help a veteran going through a difficult time by visiting maketheconnection.net.
It's time for our winners and losers for the week. Today's loser is Chewy. Chewy stock has been down more than 25% since May. Some reasons for the decline include consumer sentiment, which has been lower than expected, which has hurt consumer-related stocks. Interest rates are higher, which has caused growth to stagnate. Chewy isn't gaining new customers. Chewy's management mentioned that customers are trading down to lower-priced pet food. An analyst downgraded Chewy stock, and Chewy is traditionally invested in long-term growth, which has resulted in a small net income margin. Chewy stock has been down since it announced the first quarter results on May 31st. The stock has been down even as the S&P 500 has rallied. On its earnings call last month, Chewy did note weaker sentiment across its customers, who traded down in terms of product selection, with weak pet household formation causing a decline in active customers. High inflation and general caution over the economy were the culprits, so today's lower than expected consumer sentiment survey only reinforced that message. In addition, our favorite host, Jim Cramer, said on his show Thursday night that he was astonished it was doing this poorly and that the whole pet combine is in the doghouse. Chewy, stock ticker CHWY, after hitting a 52-week low of $20.08, closed Friday at $20.15. All right, let's stop the negative stuff. This week's winner is UEC, which is Uranium Energy Corporation. There has been an overall bump in uranium stocks like UEC, but UEC was one of the best, jumping over 15%. Uranium prices hit levels not seen in 12 years at over $60 a pound. Why? Well, more nations are turning to nuclear energy as they transition from fossil fuels, which creates a demand for uranium. The war between Russia and Ukraine definitely doesn't help as well, as countries are trying to lessen their dependence on oil and gas from Russia and other countries. Add to that fears of sanctions imposed on uranium imports from Russia by the U.S. Russia is one of the world's largest suppliers of uranium. The age-old rule of supply and demand applies here. As demand escalates, so does the value of companies who specialize in whatever you are trying to buy. Back to UEC though, it has made several acquisitions in the last year or so to build up its resource base that will lead to more uranium production. UEC started the week around $4.70 and rose to as high as $5.55 before closing Friday at $5.38.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Darren. Welcome back.
Hey, Royce.
So what are we doing today? What are we talking about? Can we just say anything we want to say?
I think we need a little more time than 4 minutes for that.
Oh, okay. And we don't want to get an explicit rating. So yeah, let's keep it clean.
True.
Clean. None of this or this or. So what's been going on our blog?
Well, I know. I think the one we're going to talk about today is you just got to be careful what you're saying because
this plays in nicely. Okay.
Yeah, like now.
Okay.
Because privacy is not so private anymore. I mean, it's.
Oh, so what's going on? Are people are a bunch of whistleblowers out there, or are people just really sensitive now? Or
I think it's just technology. I mean, technology is.
Oh yeah, everything's caught on film. Everything's caught on phone.
Privacy, yes.
Even on your watch.
I mean, we're being recorded now. Oh, we meant to be recorded, yes. Right? So at least this time. Big Brother's watching. Everybody's watching, and the speed of info. What used to take newspapers and mainstream media, a week or two in the old days, is now within 30 minutes after it happens. Right?
What are you talking about? Simulcast.
Yeah,
what's going on
at the same time. That's right. Well, you got Facebook Live. Facebook Live. I think there's a Twitter Live coming, or it's already here, and everything's just
and YouTube has a live, Facebook has a live, Instagram has a live. Everything is just live.
And pictures don't lie.
No, and neither do hips. Hips don't lie.
Oh, you're going to distract me. You're distracting me.
I'm sorry. Someone's got to do it. But can I say that? Is that
what are the censors? Ask the people in the corner, the cameras.
What? So, Tone Deaf CEO, what's going on there?
Well, a CEO, when they go in and make when they talk to their employees, they need to know that, again, like we said, live, as it's happening or after the meeting, it can very easily be out in the public for everyone. So CEOs obviously have a responsibility for their company, and they need to be careful what they say. And some CEOs just are completely tone deaf to what they're saying.
I see. I can see that. Well, they think they're above the XYZ, and
sometimes they think they're better than the people that work for them. And
oh, that's not a good CEO.
No,
that's horrible.
No, you've got to create a staff that wants to follow you and feels that you're on their team and that you're not just working for them, but you're working with them.
Yep, you'd rather be a
like you do, Roy.
Yeah. Thank you. I do my best. Hey, it's a team effort. If you're ever a boss, you've done it wrong. If You don't expect anyone to do anything that you're not willing to do, period. And as long as you keep that, you should be a very good CEO.
One important thing real quick.
Yeah, what you got
to say about earlier though, but you know what they say, once it's on the internet, it's there forever.
This is true.
That has to be remembered with anything you say.
Okay. In that case, shots. Just kidding, folks. Just kidding. Thank you, Darren, for being on the show today. And if you guys want to read more about this, don't forget to go to arbitragetrade.com/blog and take a look. Appreciate you, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.
So.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with a link.
Okay.
Smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Social Security, the evolving safety net of retirement. Social Security has long been the safety net for many Americans approaching retirement. First signed into law in 1935 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, it quickly emerged as a paragon among government programs thanks to its efficiency, simplicity, and reliability. For decades, Social Security was hailed as one of the best-run government initiatives. However, recent developments have cast a shadow on this legacy. As presidential debates gain momentum, Social Security inevitably surfaces in discussions. A report last year forecasted that by 2034, without changes to the program, retirees might only receive 77% of their full benefits from Social Security. Such a scenario would deeply affect many Americans. An estimated 33% of Social Security beneficiaries rely on Social Security for 90% of their income, and for 65%, Social Security constitutes for half of their income. When you combine this with the possibility of market downturns affecting 401ks, for those who own them, and with savings accounts that lag far behind recent inflation trends, it is obvious that many Americans are dealing with the financial uncertainties of retirement. This isn't a novel challenge. In the 1980s, the Social Security program teetered on the brink of insolvency. The remedy then involved a gradual rise in its retirement age from 65 to 67, and an uptick in the payroll tax. Although this proved effective for a time, similar problems now resurface. The program faces potential insolvency once more, with proposed solutions like benefit reductions, further retirement age increments, or tax hikes, potentially targeting high earners. The landscape has shifted drastically since the 1980s. Declining birth rates, surges in non-traditional employment, which sidesteps Social Security contributions, and wage growth trailing inflation. These factors pose newer and more complex challenges. This isn't just an American issue. Similar dilemmas arise internationally as well. France, for instance, experienced extensive rioting when their retirement age shifted from 62 to 64. Some protests even escalated to violence. Despite public opposition, the government, fearing a systemic collapse, invoked special constitutional powers to bypass Parliament and enforce the change. So where does that leave the individual? While maintaining savings and retirement accounts remains crucial, stagnant market returns and rising inflation have driven people towards alternative investment avenues. After the 2008 financial crisis, Harvard Business School observed a pivot towards alternative and passive investment strategies. Cryptocurrencies, startup crowdfunding, real estate, and private investments have surged in popularity. Reflecting this trend, Morgan Stanley now advocates for diversifying the traditional 40% bond allocation, suggesting the inclusion of real estate and low-risk hedge fund strategies to offer alternative risk-return prospects. Arbitrage presents two novel solutions to help individuals amplify income from their existing assets. Arbitrage Trade Assist offers a hedge fund-inspired investment strategy democratized for the wider public, minus exorbitant fees or capital lock-ins. By integrating your brokerage account with our API, you gain access to an AI-driven trading platform that streamlines the investment process. Furthermore, we introduce an innovative method to monetize the equity in your home, transforming it into a revenue-generating asset even as you continue residing there. Find more information about Arbitrage Trade Assist at arbitragetrade.com and find more information about the HELOC loan at businessandloan.com.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, Caroline. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Royce. Good to be back.
What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about maybe watching concerts or some live football games at a movie theater.
This sounds like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tell me more.
So the biggest news that came out this past week was Taylor Swift is doing the Eras Tour concert will be showing in movie theaters.
Oh, okay. So wait, all right. So if they're showing in movie theaters, does that mean she's going to be making guest appearances at these theaters, or how's this working?
Well, if only. That would be great, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm like, AMC, let's go.
Right. No, so pre-sale tickets are already out there.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, in the first 3 hours, it shattered records for single-day advance ticket sales because, she's Taylor Swift. So
she is Taylor Swift.
She's going to sell out things. The show will run from October 13th through November 5th.
Okay.
So it's a pretty short run.
Okay.
But AMC Theater, who's distributing it, will show it at least 4 times on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Hey, I might do that for my birthday.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say,
let's go.
Better pre-order your tickets.
Uh-oh. Might be a little too late.
You might be too late, but tickets are actually cheaper, obviously, than going to one of her live concerts.
Okay.
So I had to look up. I have never been to a Taylor Swift concert, but I know you're shocked, right?
Okay.
But the average ticket price was just over $250.
Yep, that's about right.
That's just for the ticket. But at AMC, adult ticket prices will be $19.89. So
I see what she did there.
Right. And a child's ticket, so you can take your kids with you, they will be $13.13.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's
her
smart. All
favorite
right.
number, right?
I love that. A little bit of
marketing and with the pricing there. So if you're interested, if you were unable to see her show live, you might be able to see her in the movie theater. And kind of playing off that, ESPN is doing a partnership with Theater Sports Network and Cinemark Theaters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To show some ACC games this year.
All right.
And
that explains a whole lot because I was trying to figure out where all of the sports things went. They started pulling them from regular TV.
From regular TV?
Yeah.
Got it. Well, for someone like me who does not have ESPN because we're cheap and don't pay for all that stuff.
Frugal. We're frugal.
Yes. Even though I love my Notre Dame Irish.
Right.
This partnership will also include the New Year's 6 bowl games plus the playoff semifinals and national championship game. So if my Irish make it there, I don't have to pay for ESPN. I could go to a local movie theater.
Oh, I'd love to see that at Paradiso.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Man.
And kind of like the camaraderie of, the social atmosphere of having a watch party for a game, but in a movie theater.
Brawls in the movie theater, popcorn everywhere.
No, see, if they're smart, they'll do one theater for one team and a different theater for the other team.
Okay.
If they were smart, I don't know if they're going to or not. But
sometimes they're smart, but we're pretty smart, right?
We try.
Hey, that's why we use Trade Assist, right?
Absolutely. Make money while you sleep. Woke up to profit.
Every morning. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be fun. If you want to know more about this, go to our blog at arbitragetrade.com/blog. Thank you again, Caroline, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you for joining us today for another edition of Arbitrage Weekend News. You can always find us at arbitragetrade.com and all social media platforms. Enjoy your weekend. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is a privately held research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the contents of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to function as investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC, please visit arbitragetrade.com.